Hello everyone, welcome back to our subject web technology. So in the previous class we have seen introduction to CSS. So that's nothing but cascading style sheet. So it is mainly to differentiate the presentation part of the HTML. Okay, so HTML is like a skeleton, whereas CSS will provide the muscle part, similar kind of thing. Okay, so mainly CSS is for presenting the HTML file in a more elegant manner. Okay, and we have seen about some of the features of CSS and also core syntax. Okay, so in core syntax mainly you need to concentrate about selector string and then ID, then class. Okay, so apart from that we have seen many things and also demo, so you please have a practice in your text editor. And today we are moving to the continuation of CSS is the types of CSS. Okay, the various ways of including the various ways of having styles in your HTML document. Okay, that is about style sheets and HTML, and followed by style rule, cascading and inheritance. Both are quite interesting topic, and just we'll get into the session directly. Okay, so style sheets and HTML. So what it says means there are different ways of attaching the style sheets in our HTML. So in the previous introduction topic of CSS, we have seen we have mentioned the style in a separate file, and that gets linked in the HTML document. So one category we have seen. Apart from that we have two more. Okay, totally three ways we can attach the styles to the HTML document. Okay, so one is inline style, that we yet to see, it is new for you, and embedded or internal style sheet and external style sheet. So external style sheet is the one we have seen in the previous class with the demo also, by defining the style sheet in a separate file with the file extension as .css, and we have linked in the HTML document using which HTML element, can anyone mention? Yeah, using a link element. Okay, link HTML element in the header part of the HTML file, is it not? And apart from that we have two more ways of attaching the CSS. Okay, so one is nothing but inline. Okay, inline style. So appropriate apply the properties and values in a single HTML element. Okay, so we have the property called as style attribute. Okay, style, so here the style is nothing but an attribute, not the element. Okay, so for example I can have h1. Okay, heading h1, then style is equal to color colon color colon pink. Okay, so that's here that is nothing but an inline. Inline means that style will be applied to that particular HTML element alone. Okay, here then the other way of attaching the style sheet to the HTML document is embedded or internal. It means in HTML document itself we have an element called as style. Okay, so you have to differentiate both inline and embedded. Okay, so inline means here you will be using the style attribute, and here in embedded or internal we will be using the style element. Okay, so that style element we need to give it in the header part and define the property names and values for the respective elements which where the style needs to be applied. Okay, and the third one is external, which we have seen. So there are two ways. One is both the thing we have seen in the previous class, using the link element and using the at import rule. Okay, so you know at import. Okay, it means a style has we have a separate file where the style has been mentioned, and that needs to be imported into the current document, means we can use it. Okay, so I will take you to the demo part of this one. Okay, please remember there are three ways of attaching the style sheet in our HTML document. One is the inline, then second one embedded or internal style sheet, third one is external style sheet or external style sheet. Okay, and here comes the example for each and every types. Okay, so this is an example for inline. Okay, h3 heading style is equal to directly style, here it is an attribute, this style is an attribute, style is equal to color pink. Okay, some content, so this content will be displayed with pink in color, and I have the h2 heading with red. Okay, so when we execute these things, the respective styles gets applied. So what's the disadvantage is, so if you know that in a html page will have repeated paragraph elements, headings, etc. Okay, if you want a paragraph to be styled with all the text color to be yellow, means here inline, for using inline we need to mention this style for each and every paragraph. There comes the repetition. Okay, so here this style will be applied only to this content. So if we have a one more paragraph, means that style, that paragraph won't have this style. For that we need to again repeat this style. Okay, so that's the logic behind the inline. So for one or two styles, for an element which takes a simple style, means it's enough to have this inline, but mostly it is not recommended for the full stack developer. Okay, and second way of attaching the css is using embedded style sheet. Okay, so embedded style sheet, in the sense, within the header part you need to use the style element. Okay, style element type is equal to text css, and inside this style element, open and close tag, we can mention the property names and values. Okay, as usual, like you did in the external file, no? So similar to that, list item. Okay, li element whose color is red we have mentioned. Okay, so in the body part, wherever the li element is appeared, that color will be changed to, the text color will be changed to red. Okay, so this is one way of attaching the style to the HTML document. This also not preferred. Okay, so why it is not preferred means, the main concept or the main logic behind css is used to separate the html file and the style. Okay, but here what's happening, so in the html document itself we are mentioning the style. Okay, so when we go for a full stack development, so the web page will run into hundreds and hundreds of lines, and it's quite difficult to segregate the styles and the HTML document. So better practice from now onwards to separate the style from the HTML document. So how will you separating the file from how will you separating the style from the HTML document? Yeah, by using by defining the style in a separate file and save it in .css, that is by means of so external style sheet. Okay, so the reason just now I said, so the both the ways of attaching the css to the html document, inline and internal, that has to be avoided. Okay, so the main logic is we need to separate the style from the HTML file. Okay, and there comes some duplications, because if a page has n number of paragraph, and using inline means we need to repeat each and every paragraph this style. Okay, and the preferred way is external, which we have seen already, and we will have a quick recap. So we will be using HTML element link. Okay, link relationship is equal to style sheet, type is equal to text bar css, and hrefs, and title is optional, so we will stop here itself. So hrefs equal to app.css, and I have the app.css in a separate file, where I have defined the color of h1 to be purple and h3 to be pink, and here in the body I have that heading, and the same output, the browser renders the output by the style which I have mentioned in the external style sheet. Okay, so this we have seen it already. and I'll take you for this demo, okay, using the import rule. We have discussed again already in the previous topic. So import is import in the sense a style sheet has there is a CSS file that was referred by some other HTML document, and again that has to be referred to our current file, okay. So how you will be referring that means using the import, okay. Import URL, and here you have to mention the path, okay, relative or absolute path, okay. I think here, okay, using the import. So import CSS, some file is here that is having paragraph 1, h1, h2 defined with its respective styles, and here, and that should be always at the top, okay. The import rule should be always at the top, end with semicolon, and here we have the content. Let's take a quick demo on that. Okay, so here paragraph font something, and the color of h1 and paragraph we will take here. So h1 is red and paragraph is of color, font size extra large, okay. So that's it about import rule. It's quite simple, and we'll move on to next topic, style rule cascading and inheritance, okay. So style rule cascading or rule cascading, both are same. So the concept behind that is what happens if more than one style declaration is applied to a single element, okay. So take an example here. So universal selector, this star, okay, universal selector, it means this style will be applied to all the elements in that document, HTML document. All the HTML documents will be in bolded, okay. And we have something ID, okay, paragraph P1 and P3, okay. Assume there is a paragraph and whose ID is of P1 and P3 and whose background is aqua. Background color aqua. Then one more. Suppose if we have a font weight to be normal, okay. So one more, if you assume, so apart from background color aqua, assume we have one more font weight is of normal, okay. So what happens in these situations, whether the font weight normal will be applied to this paragraph or this bold will be applied, okay. There is a little confusion over here. So or there may be this style comes from some external file, or this style will be coming from some other way, some other embedded file, okay. So I mean embedded style sheet, okay. So then the browser has to decide which style has to be applied, okay. So the first step is to decide whether the file is whether this two is in the same style sheet, or whether this is coming from the external style sheet or this is coming from the embedded style sheet. That needs to be decided, and one will be applied based on this decision. And apart from that, each style sheet will have its origin, okay. It means associate an origin, okay. So origin in the sense who wrote that HTML document, okay. The developer, of course the origin is from the developer, or how to give preference to the user, a number of things are there, and the weight with every declaration. So when defining the styles, there is a concept called as a weight. Weight means giving the giving more importance to that style, okay. For example, if paragraph if I have an ID here, paragraph P3, so if I have the font weight is normal, and if I give the weight to be important, so that will be picked rather than the other one, okay. This slide will make you clear what those things are, okay. So origin of the style sheet declaration is something like who wrote the declaration, okay. So from whom the things coming, okay, from whom the style sheet is generating. For example, the browser will have its default, the browser will define a default style sheet. It will provide different types of style sheet to the user. The user can pick up the user can pick up the own style sheet from the browser, or the developer who developed the web page will be mentioning the styles of its own. Okay, there comes the origin. Okay, so origin will be all about author, user agent, that's nothing but the browser and the user. Okay, for whom the importance have to be given. Okay, so whether the page has to be displayed as it is what the developer has wrote, or whether the browser, so the browser will have its own way of displaying the content, and of course the browser will provide different styles for the user also. If a user picks up that style, that has to be given more importance rather than the browser's default style or by the author defining that style. Okay, the priority is there are some priorities. Okay, and we will come back to here. And one more is value. Okay, weight value. So weight value is, it takes normal and important while defining this style sheet, and at the end of the style rule, if we mention exclamation symbol, important means that has the highest priority than the other styles. Okay, so here we will walk through the priority from lowest to highest order. So important declaration with user origin. So the user origin. Okay, so if something is from the user, picks up some style, means that has to be displayed rather than the style given by the developer or by the default browser style. Okay, then next priority is from the author who developed the document, followed by normal declaration with the author, then normal declaration with the user comes next. Then apart from that, the browser has the last preference. Okay, I hope you are following with me. Rule cascading. So rule cascading in this sense, so there are n number of ways. Okay, so alternate style sheets. It means for a single web page there are different styles applied. Okay, so the browser has to choose which one. Okay, so the browser has to decide which style has to be applied based on the origin and the weight. Okay, so after picking up either from the embedded style sheet or internal, so I mean external, once picking that style, then the browser has to go for prioritizing the origin and the weight of the style, followed by the browser has to break ties based on the specificity. So specificity in the sense, here is the thing. Okay, here what that specificity says is the style attribute or the or most specific selector. Okay, so what does it mean is here specificity is given in highest to lowest order. It means any HTML element that has this style attribute has the highest priority. That style needs to be rendered by the browser rather than for example, if h1 element, take h1 element, h1 style is equal to color red I am giving, and in external file also I am having h1 open and close curly braces, color is equal to pink I am giving. So which style has to be applied for h1? It means the priority goes for the attribute. Okay, style attribute. Okay, then followed by rule with selectors. The highest preference goes to the id selector, followed by class, followed by descendant or element type, followed by the last preference is universal. Okay, for example, in universal we have mentioned font weight to be bold, and what happens here in id, if I mention the font weight to be normal, so the priority will be going for normal. Okay, because id has the highest priority, followed by class or pseudo class, then descendant or element type, then finally the universal, and at last the HTML attributes. Okay, this is all about the specificity. And next comes break ties based on position within this style sheet. Okay, position means where it has occurred. So I'll take you with a simple example in the next slide. So before that, we'll have a look on the style sheet hierarchy. Okay, style information comes from various ways, is it not? So either from within the HTML document or from within the element HTML element itself using the style attribute, or from external files. Okay, the priority is arranged from bottom to top. Okay, so bottom has the highest priority and top has the lowest priority. The lowest priority is default setting if nothing is matched here. The highest priority is given by the user, followed by the author, then followed by the style attribute, style element, import, link, then the browser will provide the various styles for the user, that one, and if nothing is selected, the browser will display its default style. Okay, and coming to the place coming to the break ties based on position with the style sheet. It means the occurrence of the the position where the element is occurred. Okay, so this example will walk you through the clear explanation, so just follow along with me because it seems to be little the coding seems to be little weird for you, but I'll ensure you that things go smooth. Okay, here we have imp1, okay, implementation 1.css. okay, this is one css file that has this 2 lines. Okay, it is importing implementation 2.css file. Okay, and it has its own p element whose color is of green, and what's inside this implementation 2, that paragraph has color blue. Okay, now itself the class gets come in. Okay, so it is importing implementation 2. It means so here this will be replaced as paragraph color is blue followed by paragraph color is green. So which one will be applied, either blue or green? So the thing which is placed at the last position will win. Okay, so here discussing these 2 points, paragraph will take the color green. Okay, because it is in the last position among these 2. And here is the header part. Okay, only the snippet is given. I haven't given the entire part. This is in the header element, title of this file, and followed by the inline, is it, I mean internal style sheet, because we are using the style element. Okay, so this is said to be internal or embedded style sheet. Okay, so style type is equal to text bar css. Here the paragraph color is red, and I am closing that style, followed by external style. Okay, so here what's happening, external style implementation 1. So implementation 1, so what's the occurrence, the order, the order will be the first order will be paragraph color is equal to red. Okay, so while executing the document, HTML document, initially the paragraph will have the color red, followed by you are linking the external file. So in the external file implementation 1, so what's having in the implementation 1, we have implementation 2 whose color is blue followed by the color green. Okay, and after this link element we have again one more internal style sheet with the color of paragraph to be yellow. So the last one is yellow, which finally wins. Okay, so many styles are applied for this one single element paragraph. Okay, so there is a confusion for the browser which color to apply. So here comes the order where the final one wins, and the browser will display the paragraph color to be yellow. Okay, hope you are following with me, and this example makes you very clear about breaking the ties based on the position, okay, of element. And moving on to style inheritance. Inheritance, I think you will be knowing it. It is based on the tree structure. Okay, for example, if I define a style for the body element, and that style will be applied to the elements within the body. Okay, is it not? So inside the body only will be having the entire web page content. Okay, if I do something, if I apply some style to the body, means by default all its element inside the body will be inheriting that body's style values, is it not? So that's the concept of inheritance. Okay, an element inherits a value from one of its property by checking to see whether the parent element has that property. If so, it will be inherited. Okay, if the parent doesn't have any inherited property, means CSS has CSS by default will give a value. Okay, so that value we are saying as property's initial value. So CSS will have the initial value for each and every element. Okay, so if nothing is specified, no style is specified, means the default initial value will be displayed for all the HTML elements. Okay, and here is the one simple demo of simple example for inheritance. Okay, so consider here this HTML document body. Inside the body we have the unordered list, followed by that list item, this one list item outside, and span. Here is a span is nothing but simply a wrapper. Okay, inline element, followed by a paragraph. Again inside the paragraph we have the span, and we are closing it. Okay, so see here in the CSS file, this is the CSS file. We have given the body font weight to be bold, list item style to be italic, font style to be italic, paragraph size, font size is of larger, span font weight is of normal. So which style will be applied here in this HTML document? Okay, so we need to look into the inheritance. Okay, so let's go in deeper part. Okay, so paragraph, so the paragraph is in the innermost, then comes the list item, is it not? Or else we will go from top to bottom. Okay, list item, so list item outside and span, list item outside and inside a span. Okay, so list item, what's the li style is of, font style is italic. So see here the output, the entire line is of italic. So yes or no? But see here list item outside and a span, this is in bolded, is it not? So how it becomes bold? Because it inherits is there anything UL, no style for UL, but body is of bold, is it not? So that's the concept of inheritance. Okay, so li is the child for this body. So parent. Okay, body is the parent element for not the immediate, the ancestor. Okay, immediate parent of li is UL, and for li body is the ancestor. So it inherits its property, and that's what we get this as a bold. And look at here inside is a span element that has its own style, font weight to be normal. So it has the highest priority than the this item has the highest priority than its parent. Okay, so that's what it is displayed in what normal. Okay, rather than bold, but again it is in italic because it is again in the list item, since there is a clash between body and the span. Why clash? Because in body font weight to be bold, but inside the span font weight is normal, so the priority goes to this specific element. Okay, that's what it is, not bolded but it is italic. Similarly for paragraph the same concept goes. Okay, and final word about the inheritance is except the height property, there is a property called height. Apart from that the remaining could be inherited. Okay, even the relative values or the absolute values in the sense border border is equal to 2 pixel, something like that, or 2 em. If we specify a value, that also will be inherited, and also the relative values. Okay, and CSS2 recommends all the style properties to be inherited, whether they are really inherited or not. By default it is recommending that the style properties to be given an inherited value. Okay, okay, so that's it about the inheritance, and here I'll take you to the quick demo of inheritance and specificity. Okay, so I'll copy the link about inheritance. Okay, I'll take you to this link. So what's happening? There is a site, there is a website called as CodePen. There we can do, it's like a text editor where we can write the code and immediately view the output. Okay, here I have the HTML file. So let's go through the HTML file. The title is inheritance and we have an internal style sheet. Okay, are you able to follow along with me? So in the internal style sheet we have unlisted item, unlisted. Okay, color to be purple, and body we have a paragraph and UL. Okay, so we have here I forgot to mention that close tag of UL, so that's what, even then also it's not displaying any error. Okay, so here what's happening, the UL color to be purple, so that's what I'm unlisted items, all the things are purple. And what's saying in the paragraph, how will you turn me paragraph, this is the paragraph, so how to turn paragraph to be purple? It's simple, replace UL as body element. Okay, so instead of UL, if I replace body, refreshing it, and it turns to be purple. Okay, I didn't mention the paragraph, so here instead of paragraph, instead of p element, I am making the body to be the paragraph, so entire content is in purple, and of course the paragraph turns to be purple. So it means what, the paragraph inherits the body's style. Okay, that's the concept behind the inheritance. So since paragraph is within the body, whatever the style we are mentioning it for the body, that will be applied to all the items within the body. And if there is any specific style over here, for example, if paragraph ID, if I define a paragraph with the ID selector, then that has the highest priority than its parent body. Okay, so this is about inheritance. And one more example is about specificity. Let me copy the link and I'll take you to the code. So here what's happening, okay, so we will walk through the coding first, then we'll understand what's happening. Title, and we have the internal style sheet. Why I'm saying this as an internal, because within the HTML document header field I'm mentioning the style. Okay, CSS, is it not? So using the style element. So unlisted item color to be purple, body color to be blue. And here inside the body what's happening, there is a paragraph hello, and list item 3 items, and we have a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. Okay, why this color is purple, yeah, ul is purple, body is blue. So body is blue means the entire content will be blue, is it not? So inside the body what we are having, paragraph, one order list, then 2 more paragraphs, everything should be blue in color. But what's happening, this is overriding ul, because specifically we are mentioning the UI to be purple. So that's the concept behind specificity. Okay, so it overrides the what's it overrides body color. Okay, this has the highest priority, that's the specificity here. Okay, this element has the highest priority than the body. Okay, if nothing is mentioned here, so if I remove the entire color, what will happen? Can anyone guess? Yes, everything will turns to be blue. It's refreshing, see here everything turns to be blue. Okay, so body color is taking it. Okay, I'll put it back. And what's happening here, change the color of li and watch what's happening. Right click any of list item and inspect element. Okay, change this color of, change the color of change the color for li. Okay, it means I need to go with defining color for list item to be what, red. Okay, so now will you assume what color this list item? Yes, definitely the output is changed here. This is more specific. Okay, Li is more specific than UL. Okay, so UL is specific than body. Okay, it goes something like that. Okay, this is about the specificity. And right click any of the list item and inspect. Okay, so what's inspect? So what's happening here? See here, so inside in these tiles the color has been overridden. Okay, so can you able to see it, the body? Okay, for the list item, list item is inherited by UL and body. The body color is blue, that has been striked out, and UL color has been striked out purple, and finally the color red is applied to Li, because this is more specific than UL and body. Okay, that's the concept behind the specificity. Okay, and final word is that you can check the specificity of each and every element. So visit this site. Okay, I'll go in full screen. Final slide all about this link. Okay, specificity.gigan.st. okay, go visit this site and explore, okay, about the specificity of elements. Okay, so here it is given, the highest order is given for IDs. Okay, followed by class attributes and followed by HTML elements. Okay, so have a look on this site and get more knowledge on the specificity of different elements, HTML elements. Okay, so that's it about today's topic, and let's have a quick summary on that. So it's today we have discussed about different ways of having this style sheet in our HTML document. So one is inline, two is internal or embedded style sheet, number 3 is external style sheet. Okay, then followed by we have seen about rule cascading and inheritance. Okay, so and I have taken you to the little demo of inheritance and specificity. Okay, and final word, please visit this site and learn more about specificity of HTML elements. Okay, so thank you all. I'll meet you in the next session.